Hello everyone, I hope you are fine. I am Vivek Kumar Sharma. Welcome you all once again on Engineering Maths by Vivek. So in the previous two lecture actually we have covered the basics of differential equation. I told you the difference between the ordinary differential equation and partial differential equation, and I also gave you the brief of order and the degree of the differential equations. And in the last lecture I have covered the solution and the formation of differential equations. In this particular video we are going to discuss very important topic from exam point of view, and even in the competition exam it is directly asked: homogeneous linear equations. Okay, so this topic is very much important from your academics point of view also, and from exam point of view. I am talking about the competition exams. Okay, so let's start today's topic: homogeneous linear differential equation, or we can say homogeneous linear equations. So the heading is homogeneous linear equations with constant coefficients. Okay, so first of all I am going to write an equation. After that we are going to describe it actually. So the equation which is written in this form is called homogeneous linear equations. Why it is homogeneous and why it is linear? First of all, why it is homogeneous? Because we can see every term is having the same order, that is nth order. So I hope this is clear why we are talking that it is homogeneous equation, because in every term the order of the differential equation is n, whether you choose the first term, second term or the nth term. And second, why we calling it linear? Because I told you the degree of the differential equation is defined as the highest power of highest order derivative. Since the highest order derivative is common in all the terms actually, so and we can see the power of the highest order derivative, you choose any of the term, then power is actually 1. So it is why it is called linear equation. So highest order is actually n, and every term consists of nth order. That's why it is linear. That's why it is homogeneous. And why we are talking that it is linear? Because the power of the every term is actually 1. And there is another term which is written with constant coefficients. So the coefficients of the homogeneous equations which are written here, k0, k1, k2, k3 and up to kn, are called actually simple coefficients or constant coefficients. Why we are saying that it is constant coefficient? Because these terms are, or these numbers are constant, means their values are fixed, or they are not the actually the variable. These are actually fixed values. Hope it is clear. Now we are moving further, and I'm going to talk that how we can solve the homogeneous linear equations. Before jumping on to the solution, one more thing I want to tell you, that while solving the differential equation and to save some time, we assign some, or we can say we are writing some of the derivative like in the direct form. What does it mean? Then whenever we find del over del x, we are going to replace it by d. And whenever we find del over del y, we are going to replace it by d dash, or sometime d prime. Hope it is clear. So what we can say, this particular equation can be written in this format also, because I have replaced del over del x by d and del over del y by d dash. Hope it is clear. Now we are jumping to the solution of homogeneous linear equations. If we talk about the solution of the linear equation, or which we can say precisely say homogeneous linear equations, so this solution comprises of two terms, or we can say this solution, complete solution, comprises of two solutions. That is CF and PI. In the ordinary differential equation also, the complete solution is given by the summation of complementary function and the particular integral. In the same manner, while we are solving the homogeneous linear equation, we will have to find the complementary function individually and then to find the particular integral of the equation to get the complete solution. Hope it is clear to you. Now we are going to have a homogeneous linear equation in which we are going to find that how we can find the roots, or what we can say what will be the complete solution of the given homogeneous equation. So let us consider an example. So there is example which I am writing here. So this is the equation which is written here, and we have to find the solution. So one thing you have to observe, that whenever you find equals to 0, whenever any of the homogeneous equation it is related or it is written in the form of equals to 0, then the solution will be only complementary function. We cannot find the particular integral of this homogeneous equation. Hope it is clear. So we have to find CF. Why? Because I told you that this equation equals to 0, means there is no function of fxy. So whenever there is any function fxy equals to 0, we have to find the CF only. Hope it is clear. Now as I told you, we are going to replace it by the operator. as I told you that we are going to replace del over del x by d and del over del y by d dash. So this equation is actually it has become the quadratic equation. If we closely look at it, it is a quadratic equation in d square also and d prime square also. Means it is a quadratic equation in the d also and d prime also. So as it is a quadratic equation, and we know that it has going to be two roots, and these roots may be similar or equal, or these roots may be distinct. So we are considering two cases. First we have distinct root, and second we have equal roots. So we are considering the case number 1. We have two roots m1 and m2. Okay, the equation was actually given as actually k naught is not present, so we have considered k naught equals to 1. So if the roots are given to you, then how we can find the quadratic equation? So in the earlier classes we have already studied that how we can find the quadratic equation if the roots are given. Then what will be the equation? Why? Because if alpha and beta are the roots of quadratic equation, then the quadratic equation will be given by, hope you understand now, that's why I have written in this format. So this equation can be satisfied by the two methods, that either this will be 0 or either this will be 0, or we can say both are 0. In the same manner that if we are taking this term as 0, definitely it will going to be 0, because the product of any number with 0 will going to give 0. In the similar manner, if I take this equals to 0, then again the solution is satisfied. Okay, so one by one we are taking each term to get the solution. So let us consider d minus m2 d prime z equals to 0. So what will be the solution of this? So if we closely look at this equation, I told you that it is a standard form of Lagrange's equation. You can clearly see it, and if we compare the coefficients, then we are going to get the capital B, capital Q and capital R. Because I told you P equals to what? Hope this is clear to you. Then it is a Lagrange's equation in which we have to find the value of capital P, capital Q and capital R. So capital P will be 1, capital Q will be minus m2 and R will going to be 0. Now we have to form the auxiliary equation, and if you are unable to understand that what I am saying, then you must see the previous video part 2, so that you can have the better understanding that how we can solve the Lagrange's equation. And the link of that video is in the description. Even in the description you will find the link of video number 1. So it is the means if we going for the auxiliary equation, it will be So dx upon p is 1, dy it is minus m2, and dz will be 0. Okay, I hope it is clear that I have replaced pqr, and or we can say we have substituted the value of pq and r. Now actually in this equation there are two variables x and y in which, or we can say on which z is depending. So we have to form, or we have to get the two arbitrary constants. Means whatever be the number of variables, we have to get the solution in the same manner. That we have to, if there are three variables, then we have to have actually three arbitrary constants in the solution. So taking first two terms, taking the first two terms, we are going to integrate it. Minus m2x plus, what will be plus? As we know that whenever we are integrating any function, or we are integrating any expression, we have to add some arbitrary constant, and this arbitrary constant is given as now we have taken it as a, you can take another also, I don't mind. So y equals to minus m2x plus a, then a will be y plus m2x. In the similar manner, if we proceed in the same manner as we did for this, we have to have the another what we can say, we have to have the another constant. So what we can do, we can take the last two terms, or we can take first and the last term also to get the another constant. So if we are going to take the last two terms, so actually it will be dz equals to 0, and if we integrate it, we have z equals to b. Hope it is clear. Now the complete solution of the differential equation is given as, that is b is equals to phi of a, that is I am writing in the previous video itself. I told you that how we can write the solution of differential equation. So it can be written in the three form. We can choose any three form, and generally we prefer this one. Okay, so we are going to take b equals to phi a, and b, the value of b is equals to z, and so this is the solution of the differential equation if we have considered the given terms equals to 0. That is we have taken that is d minus m2 d dash equals to 0. In the similar manner, if we proceed in the same manner, that we have taken d minus m1 d dash equals to 0. If we have chosen d minus m1 d prime equals to 0, then we could have get, there is another function here, the function is phi, we can take another function, that is f. So z equals to f y plus m1x. So combined solution will be So when the roots are distinct, the solution, or we can say the complementary function. Why complementary function? Because the original equation was equals to 0. Whenever the differential equation or the homogeneous equation is written in the form of equals to 0, we can only get the complementary function. We cannot find the particular integral of that equation. So it is given z equals to phi y plus m2x plus f y plus m1x when the roots are distinct. So it was of second order actually. It was of second order and we could have only two roots, that is m1 and m2. But as I told you, the equation may have nth order also. Then after writing this one, we can generalize the solution. We can generalize the solution. That is CF is given as that is phi m1 y plus m1x, hope it is visible to you, and f y plus m2x, psi y plus m3x, and so on, g y plus mnx. So whatever be the order of the differential equation, we are going to have same number of roots. I hope it is clear. Now second case may arise then when the roots are equal, whether we are talking about the nth order of the differential equation or we are taking the two order, or we can say the order of the differential equation is 2. So what will be the solution when the roots are equal? So the second case may arise So again, this is a quadratic equation and these could have two roots, and we are assuming that now roots are equal. Now we are assuming that both roots are equal and we are taking it m1 equals to m2 equals to m. So what will be the solution? So we can write the equation. So we can write if the roots are equal, then definitely both brackets will going to be equal and we'll have d minus md prime square z equals to 0. Okay, so now we can write in this format also. Now as I told you, when the two numbers are there, their product can be 0 if one of them is 0 or either both are 0. So we are taking d minus md dash z equals to let equals to, this is equals to u. Okay, so now if it is equals to u, and again it is forming a Lagrange's equation. Which is given, that is P minus M Q dash equals to U. Okay. So now again we have to solve the Lagrange's equation. Or we can simply write something if we replaced d minus m d prime z equals to 0, this is the Lagrange's equation. Okay, so we have replaced d minus md dash z equals to u in this equation. So we got this equation. Now we have to solve this equation as we did in the previous step or in the previous equation. So what will be the solution of this equation? So this is a Lagrange's equation in which capital P is 1, capital Q is minus m and R is 0. So if we going to solve it, so again forming the auxiliary equations. So again taking the first two terms, we'll get dy equals to a equals to y plus mx. A equals to y plus mx, and similarly b will going to be equals to z, because we can take this term along with the any two terms. Okay, so now the original equation which was right, so and what I have chosen, okay, this will be this one, then we have u equals to, okay. Now actually there is one important notice that you have to do, that in the previous equation, if I assumed I have taken this equals to u, so what we got, so here the depending variable is u actually, the depending variable is u actually, so that's why we have to take du here, not dz. Okay, I think this is clear to you. So we can say b equals to u, or b is a function of a, so u equals to phi of y plus mx. So I think this is clear to you. Okay, now again back to the equation which was written in the square form. And I have assumed it at u equals, I assumed that u was actually d minus md dash z equals to, so again we can see this is again a Lagrange's equation. This is again a Lagrange's equation. Now again, the r is not equals to 0, but r is actually phi of y plus mx. Hope it is clear to you. Now, if we solve it further, now the variable is z, so we have to take z. So if we take the first two terms, minus mx plus a, and in the similar manner if I take these two terms, or we can say these two terms. Okay, now again we are going to integrate it. Plus any constant b. So we got b equals to z minus x of phi y plus mx. But we have to write the solution in the standard format. And the standard format was given as b equals to phi f of a. So b is given and f of a was so we are here with the solution. So we can see when the roots are equal, the solution will be x times the another function, means the bracket part is going to be same, that is y plus mx, but in the second term we have to multiply by x. So similarly, if there are nth order, or we can say n terms, then what will be the solution? That is, all roots are equal. So I think this is clear to you that how we can have the complementary function of the homogeneous linear equation in both the cases when the roots are not equal and when the roots are equal. And if you faced any challenge, you can comment me. In the next video we are going to have some example so that you can have the better understanding of the solution of the homogeneous linear equation for the CF only. But after that we are going to have some questions, or we are going to have some procedure to get the particular integral also, and therefore the solution of the this one, we can say, homogeneous linear equation will be equivalent to summation of complementary function plus particular integral. So in the upcoming video we are going to have some further topics related to differential equation. So stay tuned, please do subscribe to my channel and share it among your friends who are preparing for any exam or who are your classmate in the any of the university, whether you are pursuing BTech or BSc or any other degree in which mathematics, higher engineering mathematics is a important subject or it is a part of your syllabus. So see you soon in the next video. Till then, you take care. Goodbye.